So after understanding the uh, key financial aspects that are to be understood and considered before starting a business, and the financial aspect that must be there while doing a business, carrying on the business, have already been discussed in the previous session. Now we proceed on to further understand the financial statements, and what is a financial statement, and how are they prepared, and what are the components of the financial statement. So we can say that financial statement are those official documents that give a summary of a person's or company's financial situation and action, because they provide detailed information of an entity's financial performance, that is how they are performing in terms of money, capital, the inflows and outflows, and also at the same time the health of the financial health of that business. So these statements are important to a variety of stakeholders, which includes the creditors, investors, management, and regulatory agencies. The income statement, balance sheet, and cash flow statement, they are the three primary forms of financial statement. So see, financial statement is, we can say that it is a complete summary which gives the picture of any business, which provides a complete or we can say that which is a mirror to the business, which reflects the financial aspect of a business. It is important to various stockholder, in the sense that suppose if an investor, he is interested in investing money in certain business, in your business, so he will have to first know that where your business stands, whether it is profitable or not. Similarly, if the creditors are they want to supply goods to you, then they want an assurity that they should be getting the money back from you. Similarly, if you are selling your goods in the markets, the debtors, they need to understand the credibility of your business. The bankers, they need to know the financial health of your business, because before investing or before giving you loans. Similarly, it can be your the people in the market, for example, the shareholders. If they want to buy share of your company, they need to understand the financial health of your company. And they have just all these stakeholders, all the people who want to invest or supply, or they want to buy the share, etc., etc., they all are interested. But first they have to be confident about the financial health of your business or of your organization. And therefore this is a single document which is called financial statement, which is prepared in order to help the people to know more about the financial conditions of the business, so that they may invest, or they may supply goods or services, whatever is required. So it is the whole, cloud of people who are dependent on the business, or on whom the business is dependent. The financial statement is a very strong tool for them. There are the financial statement. It consists of three parts. That is income statement, balance sheet, and cash flow statement. The first is income statement. Income statement is your profit and loss account. The profit and loss account also includes another sub part or sub content, which is called the trading account, or it may also be called the manufacturing account. And the second half, it is called the profit and loss account. In this statement, or this income statement, it is one of the three main statements, financial statements, that businesses use to disclose their financial performance. It is, sometimes referred to as the profit and loss statement. It actually, this statement, it offers an overview of the income, cost, and profit of the business for a given frame of time. Usually, it may be a quarter, it may be a 6 monthly, or it may be that is half yearly, or maybe yearly also. And this income statement's primary goal is actually to demonstrate a company's level of profitability. So usually it includes the main elements of it includes the main elements in the income statement, that is all the revenues and the expenditures. So actually there are two parts. Basically there are two parts of this income statement, that is, one is the trading and loss trading account, and the other is the profit and loss account. So what are the contents of the trading account? Trading account is actually it includes all the direct expenses. Direct expenses means maybe the purchases, the sales, or any other expenses which are related to or relevant to the production of any production of goods and services, that is the factory expenditures. So the items that are included here are in the trading account are they are revenues, maybe what we receive from the sales. It is the entire amount of money which is received by the business from its main activity, which includes the selling of goods or services, whatever it is. And then we also take into consideration the cost of goods sold, that is the total direct expenses which are incurred in making or acquiring the product or service that the business sells. It covers all the expenses of labor, raw material, and the production overhead. And it is a T-shaped account with two sides. The left side, it is your debit side, where all the expenditures or the money spent or cost of goods sold are included or recorded. And on the right side, we have it is called the credit side, where we include all the revenues. So the expenditures or the revenues, the items included under the expenditure or cost of goods sold are all the direct expenses. For example, it can be your, it also includes the opening stock. It can be the purchases. It may be the sales return. It may be your carriage inwards. It may be factory lighting, it may be factory insurance. So any direct expenses which are spent on the production of good, it is called it is included in the cost of goods sold, and it is recorded on the debit side of the trading account. Coming to the right side, that is right side includes all the revenues through the sales. So we take up sales, or maybe there are some items of purchases returns. So and the difference between both the sides, that is your expenditures and revenue, the difference what is calculated is called the gross profit. So gross profit, it is determined by or calculated by deducting the revenue from the cost of goods sold. So it stands for the revenue produced by the company's main operation. Main operation means the goods or services or the commodities in which the company is dealing, or what the company is handling. That is to be taken into consideration here. So from this account, what the figure or the concluding figure is the gross profit, or maybe gross loss if the company's expenditure or cost is higher than the revenues. Similarly, once the trading account is prepared, then the second part of the trading account is the profit and loss account. And in profit and loss account, we take up all the, again it is a T-shaped account with the left side as the debit side and right side as the credit side. On the left side, we have all the items that are included as indirect expenditures. Indirect expenditures can be anything which has incurred on the sales of a commodity. For example, maybe marketing, any marketing expenditure, the insurance money that is spent, maybe the advertisement money amount is spent, etc., etc. Office maintenance, electricity bill, all those things which are indirectly relevant to the business and has been done, they are recorded on the debit side, whereas on the credit side we include all the revenues, all the monies that is coming in. For example, maybe we are earning dividends from our investments in shares, maybe we are getting interest, maybe we are, and the gross profit, obviously adjustments are made to the gross profit. So this way we prepare the profit loss account in order to get the figure of net profit. Net profit, but again this includes this profit and loss account or statement also includes uh, these debits and credit side, that is the expenditures and the revenues which we are calling. They may be including the operating expenses as well, operating revenues maybe. So operating expenses comprise a range of costs associated with the day-to-day management of the business, maybe marketing, research and development, maybe selling and general and administrative cost, etc., etc. Similarly, the operating expenses, they are deducted from the gross profit in order to arrive at the operating income or operating profits, and this represents the profits made from the business's primary or main activity before the taxes and interest are considered. It can be gain or losses from the, maybe the gains or losses from the sales of assets, interest income, interest expenses, and other non-operating revenues or expenses are all included in the category of other income and expenses. Now here we have to take into consideration only those heads or those expenditures and revenues which are included in the business operation directly, and the other main heads to be taken into consideration while calculating them. Then we also have pre-tax income. Maybe there are non-operating income and expenditures. Operating income and expenditures are the income and expenditures which are directly related to business operation. But whereas business has many others non-operating business incomes and expenditures. For example, maybe we have to pay the income tax, we have to pay for certain other expenditures which are not directly related to the operations of the business. Maybe we have the interest and dividend earning, which is not the business or operational income, but it is the income from outside. They also have to be taken into consideration. So here we have the pre-tax income, which is often known as income before the tax, which is computed by adding the operating income of to the other incomes and expenses. It shows the company's earning prior to or before deducting the taxes. After that, we make adjustments with the income tax expenses also. This is income tax expenses means the amount which has been spent in order to pay out the taxes to any businessman. And this way we make adjustments to the gross profits and then to the operating profit. That is, let us put it in step by step. Gross profit, it is from direct expenditures and revenue, and on the gross profit amount we then make further adjustments related to operating profits and operating revenues and operating expenditures. And after to get the operating profit, and from the operating profit we further adjust the non-operating expenditures and non-operating incomes in order to get the net profit. And our net profit is companies it is arrived after deducting all the cost including tax, as shown, which is usually it summarizes the profit and loss statement. It refers to the sum that can be reinvested or maybe distributed to the shareholders, because this money is now finally, after making all the adjustment, this money is finally the balancing figure that is left to be distributed as profit. So we can say that the income statement here offers very important information about how profitable a business can be from its operation. There are three different stages, that is gross profit, operating profit, and net profit, and therefore it is used by the stakeholders or analysts or maybe the investors here to evaluate the company's operational effectiveness. Not only operational effectiveness means how effective its operations are, its actual business operations are. They want to know about the profitability and also their financial standing in the market. So income statement, comparisons across several time period can highlight performance trends and pattern of the business. So it is utilized in a different way by different stakeholders. Maybe sometimes the owners of the business, they want to check out that whether they have been earning profits in comparison to the previous year. Then they themselves can pick up the income statement, profit and loss statement of past maybe 5 years or 3 years, whatever period they want to compare, and then they keep it on a check that yes, okay, we can compare it and we can know that where we have come down and where we have improved, and then the actual measures can be done accordingly. And similarly, there are other ratio analysis tools also which are used here in order to compute or in order to find out the actual position of the business, and it depends upon the stakeholders' need. He used the respective tool in order to analyze the condition or position for his need at any time during the year. So here is a sample of profit and loss account, that is trading and profit and loss account. So we see here that it is clearly divided into two parts. The upper half, it is the trading account, and the lower half is the profit and loss account. We see that on the debit side of the trading account, we have all the direct expenditures in order to procure the goods and manufacture them and sell them in the market. So the items include to opening stock. Opening stock means whatever leftover stock is from the previous year that has been carried forward to this year. So here we have the opening stock, then we have the purchases. From the purchases, there might be certain items which are found to be at default, or maybe they are not good enough to be used and therefore they are returned. So there is a provision of purchase return. So here, this way we make the adjustment of to the purchases. Purchases less purchase returns, or less returns is also may also be sufficient. After that, we have the next test, that is the to wages. Wages is assumed to be or taken up as direct expenses because wages are paid usually to the people who are directly involved in manufacturing the goods and services in the factory site. So therefore, we take wages as the direct expenses. Next is fuel and power. Fuel and power, maybe it is required for running the factory and production activities. Then carriage inward. Carriage inward is the item where means it is the goods, the raw material that are brought into the factory through certain transportation system, and the rent for which you will have to pay is called the carriage inward. And since it is to be included with the raw material, it is brought into the factory, it is inwards and it is a direct expenses. Then to coal and water, if it is required to run the machinery. Coal and water. Then next is octroi, and then it is a duty. Next is import duty. It may be manufacturing expenses. That is anything when you are manufacturing or prepare. There are various expenses that incur that should be taken into the consideration. Then the motive power to consumable stores to factory lighting, and then finally, if the difference is favorable between the two sides, we come down to gross profit. Gross profit, it is the calculation after noting down all the expenses on the debit side as well as the right side, that is on the credit side. And the difference between, if the revenues are higher, then the difference is written on the debit side, which is called the profit. And if the expenditures are higher, then we will write it on the right side, as you see it here, as a gross loss, because this reflects that the expenses are higher, much higher than the revenues or profits that are available here in the trading account. So here we have, on the right side, we have the buy sales and sales return. Again, when you're selling the commodities, maybe one or two or few pieces, they are rejected by the consumers, or they are with some fault, then those consumers are allowed to take back your product and keep them, return them, whatever return policy is, but there must be some provision. So we always make adjustment to that sales and less sales return. And finally, the closing stock, because here this account is prepared within a period of 12 months. So we can see that there is a long journey. It is a long journey that the goods are coming with opening stock. More further goods purchases are done for raw material, and further goods are produced. And while they are being produced, there are so many incomes and expenditures. And then at the time of sale, the sale is done at the end of, is calculated or computed at the end of the year or at the end of the session, financial year, and then we make the adjustment on both the side, we total, and if the totals are not equal, whatever is deficit, there the difference will be placed. If expenses is higher than the revenues, we get the loss, and if the revenues higher than the expenses, then we get the gross profit. So this way we prepare the trading account. Coming to the downside, it is the second part. That is, we have the profit and loss account, and the basic structure is there in front of you. On the debit side, again, we have all the losses as well as the expenditures, and these are your indirect expenditures. That is to rent, rates, taxes, to lighting, to salaries, printing and stationery, postage and telegram, telephone charges, legal charges, audit charges, insurance, general charges, advertisement, trade salaries, bad debts, carriage in outwards, bank charges. Then we have the agent commission, depreciation, repairs and maintenance, discount allowed, interest on capital, interest on loan, discount on bills, and then we get the net profit. We will discuss the net profit later on. So coming back to these indirect expenses, they are related to business, no doubt, but they are not related directly to manufacturing, and therefore they are put down under the profit and loss account, and profit and loss account with the indirect expenditures on this side. The rent, rate and taxes may be paid for building or maybe physical assets that are used. Then lighting, salary, printing, stationery, all these expenses which are day to day. Printing and stationery are required for the office in order to execute the orders, procure the orders, and execute the dispatch of goods, etc., etc. For this they need printing and stationery. They need postage and telegraph expenditures, telephone surcharges, because you place a telephone instrument in your office to be used as per your business requirement, the bills that have to be paid. Then there are so many services that you take. For example, you take under legal services, auditing services from the experts in their respective domain. You are paying them the expenditure, that is an expenditure for you. Advertisement, teachers, travelers' salary, bad debts. Now coming to bad debts are those debts which have become bad in the market. For example, you have given your goods worth rupees 1 lakh to the debtor. Anybody who wants to purchase your goods, so you have sold him on credit. So that person is called a debtor. So now what happens that maybe at the end of the year, 5%, or there is always a chance that 5% or 3% debtors, they do not pay back your money. And on your reminder, quite often still they have not paid back. They refuse to pay back. Maybe they have incurred losses, or they don't want to pay back, whatever the reasons. Maybe in that case it is the this bad debt it's created, and therefore that is put on the debit side. After that, we have the interest on capital, interest on loan, and discount on bills, etc. So this is an exhaustive list of exhaustive and a very big list of expenses on the debit side of PL account. That is, again, I will repeat, indirect expenses. Coming on the credit side, again, it is a long list of items, that is interest received, discount, communication received, then after that by rent from the tenants, income from the investors, apprenticeship premium, etc., etc. So these are all miscellaneous revenues received from the business, that money that people are going to business keep on generating from time to time. So here this is after finding out the list that what are the revenues, we just total up both the side, and whichever side is short, that side is taken as the deficit side. And suppose if the expenses are bigger than the incomes or revenues, then we put the difference figure as net loss on the right side as shown in the figure. And similarly, if the credit side is bigger than the debit side, then the figure is put there showing as a net transfer for capital account, or maybe profit and loss account to net profit, and here it is to net loss. So I hope this is clear, that this chart has to be prepared in a very, very proper way, categorizing the entries between the direct and indirect expenses. And you must know that it is based upon the expenditure in the factory, which is called the direct expenses, which is taken up separately in the prior account, and then remaining all the incomes and expenditures are supposed to be charged to the trading and profit and loss account, and then we can compute the figure which can be transferred, which may or may not be transferred to the shareholders equity or shareholders owner. So this was about the complete list of profit and loss account, or maybe we can say that a list of profit and income statement or profit and loss statement. So here we see that the whole chart can be divided into such part that you can just categorize it under that it contains three kinds of profit, that is the gross profit, operating profit, and the net profit. Gross profit is the initial at the first stage, which deals only with the cost of goods sold and the selling price of the goods which are produced. Coming to the next part, which is the profit and loss account, here it is your net profit and operating profit. It constitute both in it. So here let us see in this this part that the PL account, which includes a long list of expenditure, we can find out and filter what expenditures are related to the production or to the operation of the business, and remaining can be excluded, and then whatever we get will be called the operating profit. That means that the operating profit lies between the gross profit and the net profit. It is somewhere here. Gross profit, from gross profit till you adjust the operating expenses and incomes, we get the operating profit, and further rest of the remaining entries to be recorded and adjusted, and we get, or we conclude to get the this net profit. So we discussed this much in this session, understanding the profit and loss statement. We'll continue further to other details of the accounts in the next session. Thank you so much.